Welcome to the Junkyard Juggernauts crowd sale. I am Francisco Ruiz, the designer and pixel artist for Junkyard Juggernauts. And if you aren't familiar with the term pixel artist, it's essentially someone who makes art in the style of old Sega and Nintendo video games like Shining Force and Chrono Trigger. And though video games had an influence on Junkyard Juggernauts, it's definitely its own thing. So what is it? Junkyard Juggernauts is a 1 to 4 player fantasy adventure game where you take on the role of one of 4 Mageneers who construct and upgrade a magic-fueled mech so that you can take on and fight against a warlord who has invaded the land of Galmany and enslaved its 4 cardinal cities and is trying to take over the whole land. If you enjoy one-shot adventure games with themes of sacrifice, betrayal, redemption, maybe you're someone who enjoys trying to find the best tactical options in combat, or maybe you're someone who loves the idea of mechs in a fantasy world, then Junkyard Juggernauts is the board game for you. And so you might be saying, that sounds great, Francisco, but how does Junkyard Juggernauts actually play? Well, this game is played over 3 phases: salvage and build, adventuring, and then the final confrontation with the warlord. So you start off by salvaging parts for your mech from the junk pile to assemble your initial build of your juggernaut. And at this point, all players are on the same team. Once all players have built their mechs, you're ready to go into phase 2, adventuring. Will you rush right in to try to find the warlord's lair by defeating the junk golems that have enslaved the cardinal cities? Or are you going to play it more safe maybe and take on side quests or patrolling for beasts to slowly expand your abilities? Whatever you choose, the warlord's corruption regularly spawns on the board, and if it's all dispersed, that triggers phase 3, the final confrontation with the warlord, and the Mageneers will be at a disadvantage. So who is the warlord? Is it an automa that's game controlled, or is it a player? You said we are on the same team, Francisco, so that indicates that teams change maybe? Well, yes, depending on the player account. In a solo adventure of Junkyard Juggernauts, the warlord is controlled by the game. But in a 2 to 4 player game, the one player is randomly selected as the warlord's acolyte, working in secret to expand their own power and maybe even try to add more corruption to the board, which can be used by the warlord in the final confrontation. This is kept secret until another point in the game where it's revealed, and then the acolyte trying to bring on the warlord as quick as they can. So the other players, the other Mageneers, will be at disadvantage. And it's at this point that in the final confrontation where the player who is playing the acolyte will control both the acolyte and the warlord using the mechanized warmock. If the Mageneers are able to defeat the warlord and even rescue the acolyte from the warlord's control, then the Mageneers win the game and save Galmany from the warlord. But if the warlord player defeats all the Mageneers, they win and win all of Galmany. Okay, now you want to experience Junkyard Juggernauts for yourself. This is where the Game Crafters crowd sale comes in. How the crowd sale works is that the more people that back Junkyard Juggernauts during the sale, the cheaper it is for everyone. That is to say, every 10 sales, the price gets incrementally lower, and regardless whether you're the first one to back Junkyard Juggernauts or the last, the price will be the lowest it gets to for everyone that has participated in the crowd sale. Not only that, but Junkyard Juggernauts is ready to be printed and produced by the Game Crafter. If you back it, you won't be waiting like a year or more to get the game. It'll be just a few months, so you will get Junkyard Juggernauts to the table very soon once the sale is over. So that is the Junkyard Juggernauts crowd sale. Thank you so much for watching here to the end. And I also want to give a big thank you to all the people that have helped this game. I believe that Junkyard Juggernauts is a creation of God that he has allowed me to steward. And along that journey, Several people have played a great part in it, so many play testers. And if you watching spread the word on social media or share Junkyard Juggernauts with your gaming group, thank you so much for helping to make this crowd sale more of a success. So with that, remember, I am not the warlord. Godspeed, Mageneers.